What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with one of the 90s bodybuilding legend, Milos Sarcev. So his placings at the Olympia, they did not give him a legendary status, but his consistency of competing in more shows than any other guys, and definitely in comparison to the guys of this era, that makes him stand out. So Jake Adler challenged Milos Sarcev for a fit for 50 style transformation that Jay himself did. And I have got to say Milos did an amazing transformation as the man turns 60 years old in a few more days. And damn, he looks incredible for his age. Those crazy ab genetics, they are still there. As most of you guys know, that Milos had one of the best set of abs during his time when he was in his prime. So why Milos wasn't able to win many pro shows or place very high at the Olympia? Well, first of all, the man competed in the 90s era, which is considered like the golden age of bodybuilding, the era that had the most competitive physiques of all time. We saw so many legends at that time, so many big names who deserved to be Miss Olympia, but they just couldn't because of some very dominant champions. And secondly, Milos had some very glaring weaknesses in his physique, most noticeably his arms, which were just small compared to the rest of his physique, which eventually led him to having that synthol accident, which almost took his life. Now, massive respect for Milos for showing this amazing dedication, that too at the age of 60. I mean, going through that same boring bodybuilding lifestyle at this age and being able to do such a successful transformation, that deserves massive respect. Next up, we have a 10 weeks out physique update from Vito. So originally he said he's gonna be doing this upcoming Arnold Brazil as his first show for this year. But as per his last status, which mentioned that he is 10 weeks out, then that timeline makes Detroit Pro his first show of this year. But considering the fact that Arnold Brazil and Detroit Pro, they are just weeks apart, so he might do both these shows. And why not? I hope you guys remember that Detroit Pro last year was one of the most amazing bodybuilding shows, especially in terms of the production. These guys had that amazing black backdrop and that insane lighting for a bodybuilding show, and that was appreciated by all the bodybuilding community. And last year Detroit Pro, that did not have a good lineup, but this year we will have good Vito, Carlos Thomas Jr. and James Hollingshead, and these guys are already confirmed for this show. Now, good Vito is an amazing talent, the man who is just coming into his own. The gains that he made during this long off season, they were massive based on his physique updates and all the hard work that will be revealed when he steps on stage once he gets truly shredded. Now, good Vito was overall in a better condition than both Tonio Burton and Rafael Brandao at his pro debut last year at the Arnold Brazil. Now the man has got such amazing quality, especially on his lower half, more specifically from the back in his hamstrings, because his back shots, they also looked very competitive, very comparable, even against Martin Fitzwater. And this year, I believe, is gonna be totally different for Vito. His 10 weeks out condition looks extremely impressive, right on target. And his waist has already started to come down, which by the way was a major concern, because every time any young bodybuilder tries to get as high as 300 pounds, which good Vito also did, there is also that risk of blowing up that waistline. Now that is a 6.5 weeks out physique update from James Hollingshead. That is gonna make sense why some of these guys, they are rating James so damn high for this year's Arnold predictions. Now this is crazy amount of density on James's back, and he looks massive as a house. So we are about to see the best package of James on the stage, especially based on his 10 weeks out update, where he was weighing 300 pounds and with an amazing condition. So this gnarly conditioning isn't a surprise, because he was looking so good that far out. So the added size that James put on for this year, that is gonna make the maximum impact, because as far as the package he brought to last year's Arnold stage, at both the Arnolds, where he actually peaked himself, he looked pretty damn impressive, and that is why he got top 5 at the Arnold last year. But this time he's working with Stefan, who is the hottest bodybuilding guru in the industry right now. Now James will definitely be looking to place at least top 4 at this upcoming Arnold. But it is gonna come down to how two of the former Arnold champions, Brandon Carey and William Bonac, show up. Because Brandon in particular hasn't been talked about at all throughout this Arnold prep, although he looked way better at the Olympia than what we all expected. So this current physique of James, that is surpassing the density that he had back in 2020 when he won 2 pro shows, and he is extremely motivated to make 2025 the best year of his bodybuilding career.
You can call me the 212 champ. You got to put it out there and you got to manifest it.
Next up, we have an update from Breon Ansley, as well as his mindset as he transitions into the 212 division to take on that big challenge. Now, Chris Cormier as a trainer has trained so many greats of the game, but he has stated this multiple times that Breon is a type of athlete who never backs down from a challenge, and he is definitely one of the hardest working guy in the current times. And his success as a classic physique competitor over the years, despite his age, that is a big proof of that. Now, can he be a champion of the 212 class? An Olympia champion? Well, I think that is totally unrealistic. And for many reasons. First of all, we have one of the most dominant physiques in the form of Can Breon winning the 212 class. And second of all, the age of Breon will certainly play a massive role because the man isn't placing high at the Olympia unless he brings up his quads, which honestly was the feedback given to him by the judges over and over again when he was competing in classic physique. Now he does have a lot of room to grow for this 212 class because his weight cutoff in classic, that was in 180s. So Breon's arrival in the 212, that is one exciting story of this upcoming year because it does build up more anticipation on how bigger and how much more muscular physique can Breon present on the stage without any weight cap. Now he obviously wasn't able to peak as a bodybuilder in classic physique, but I do feel like the man is a bit late in making this transition to a bigger class. But do let me know what you guys think. So talking about that 212 class, we must feature the new physique updates of Christian Zagarella. Now as a top 6 Olympian from this past Miss Olympia, which by the way was his Olympia debut, he puts himself on the map. That is going to be a force to be reckoned with in this division for years to come. And if we talk about having those genetically gifted proportions that aren't built inside the gym, then Zagarella is probably one of the most gifted athletes in the entire 212 class. Because other than him, there are only 2 guys, and one of them is the reigning 212 Olympia champion, Can Breon, and the other one in my opinion is Nihat Kaya, who are classic as hell. Now I am so glad that he did not waste any time in classic physique because the man became a totally new animal after his transformation into a bigger class. So this is gonna be a very big offseason for Christian as he is already qualified for this upcoming Miss Olympia. Now I'm not sure how bigger he can get before he hits that 212 weight cap. Hopefully he has some room to grow because if he does, nothing is stopping him from placing a few spots higher at his second Miss Olympia this year. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.